Today I'm going to talk to you about living with somebody with borderline personality disorder. And today I'm going to touch on living with my mom and what that was like growing up with somebody who has, I believe, severe borderline personality disorder. So, for growing up with my mom, there's, of course, a lot I don't remember, and then you have to take it with a grain of salt because it was through a child's eyes. So, it seemed to be that she really didn't like us after we were babies. Once we stopped breastfeeding, all of a sudden we didn't need her anymore, or maybe we were too free, so then we became too much of our own people, so that then she couldn't love us the same, because all of my siblings, we remember that, have my kids with me today in the library, so if you hear little people and little voices, it's the girls. So she, in a way, would keep the baby to herself and off all the time. And then once they stopped nursing, it was that child was meant to be raised by the older siblings. And that's kind of weird. I have an older sister who doesn't even remember me until I was a toddler. Has no recollection at all. And so that's a little bit weird. So once we were older and we could do our own things, she also, I feel like, had a really hard time connecting with us and spending time with us. That it was so far and few that we didn't ever actually develop a relationship. Maybe a craft here and there, but she had such a short tolerance for us kids. And I believe that it would be hard to have 7 kids. But at the same time, if you're going to have 7 kids...
Here and here.
If you're going to have 7 kids, then you should probably, be willing to put in that time with them, because it was your choice and not theirs. So, she would be distant. She focused a lot on projects. There you go. On projects and cleaning. And so she'd isolate herself a lot with that, leave me alone, I'm cleaning. And so a lot of her identity was wrapped up in the house looking good. But at the same time, she didn't teach us. At least I'm kind of like the middle child, so the middle end. And I wasn't taught anything, so I'm not sure if she had taught the older kids, and then once it got to me, it was kind of old, boring news. But it felt like she wanted to keep us away, but then she wanted us to pitch in, and we didn't have the skills, and so then she'd be upset. So just a lot of distant things, and then she would snap and get angry and stuff, and I think a lot of that was just being overwhelmed with BPD, that she didn't know how to handle that every day, all the time. So, there was that with, and she would often switch from we're the greatest kids. She loved to talk on the phone and tell people how we were...
I need to see Abby's color this.
How we were the greatest kids.
I see it's draw on me, my cheek.
And that we were so smart. But then she would easily get upset, and then we were the worst kids. We were ungrateful. We were horrible. And so the idealization, devaluation...
Mommy. I was put it over here and over here.
Shh, okay, you go back.
That was my story.
So a lot of that, And it was weird because with that idealization and devaluation, she always kept our dad at like the center of her identity, that she had to be close to him. And in a way, I feel like if she wasn't having attention from a man, or somehow pleasing and having him be in her world, that she didn't exist. And then we did see that with...
I need to see again. She sees us color.
Sorry about that. Had to take care of the kids quick. So we saw that with Mom after my dad left and was arrested, that she immediately needed to have validation and attention from a man. So looking up old sweethearts and stuff like that, which is how she ended up back with my now stepdad, who really is a great guy. So thankfully that turned out well, but it could have caused a lot of problems for her, and it's difficult because when all of us kids were going through this huge difficult time of our dad was arrested for molestation, and just feeling like our lives were a lie, our mom was bailing out on us a lot and getting wrapped up in her own new romance and her own life, which to this day she still is not aware of, how she alienated all of us kids and only focused on her new relationship. And so I think a lot of times you can see that to where borderlines can get so narrow-minded, and that's not, of course, all of them, but definitely some of them. And I think my mom deals with borderline as well as I'm afraid she may be a sociopath, but just for that, the symptom of she would parade us like property. You know, she still does. She likes us to show up so she can show us off. But when we act out of her plan and idea, then she gets very upset. And she does it with all of us. I just tend to tell her that she does it more. So she wants to plan my little brother's wedding, and different times she wants to control who marries who and when and how, and any possible way that she can control how their wedding goes or their life goes, she will definitely do that. And if you tell her no and that she's acting out of what she should, then she does get hurt. And I think, so she would see that feeling devalued and like she's nothing, then she wants to run. She wants to disown us. She wants to pick up and move away to where no one knows who she is. And she expressed that to me this year because my little brother wasn't as chatty as she felt like he should be on the phone, which he never is. She told me about the conversation, and it went really well. And I don't know where she got upset. She knew he was upset, and that was it. And so that she wanted to pick up and run away, and I had to tell her that that's just her being borderline, that she wants to run away when it feels hard, or she feels unloved, or things don't go her way. So, shh, dear, go play. So that is what it can be like. And as a child, as having a parent with borderline, you feel so confused as a child of, why did mom snap? Why is mom angry? Why does mom not want to spend time with me? Why is she so angry with me? And that just gets really, really difficult. And not always because I was very aware of it growing up. I think it really kept us from really growing a relationship. So I have a lot of bitterness over that. Emma, go.
You come here too. And let's come here too.
So that was what that was like, and I will do different videos about then maybe how borderline has then affected my personal relationships, and then what it try to take a step into the shoes of somebody who is married to a borderline. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend.